The Lakers have over a 50% chance to win 3 of their final 4 games. That, according to our ESPN analytics. They've won the first 3 games of this 5-game road trip and could tie their longest win streak of any kind since the season with a win tonight and tomorrow night. Brian Windhorst, where are you? Serious question right now. Let's get to business. What's at stake for the Lakers in this final stretch?
Their season is really at stake because right now there's a 3-way tie essentially for 5th place because everyone's tied in the loss column. The Lakers have the most games, including this back-to-back tonight and tomorrow. It's vital. Now, what I believe is these are the most important games the Lakers have played since they were in the 2020 finals. Now, the Lakers fans would say, wait a minute, what about the 2021 playoffs against the Suns? Lakers fans still believe that if Anthony Davis hadn't gotten hurt in that series, they would have won it and that they might have gone to the finals. I don't believe that. The Suns were the number 2 seed. The Lakers were the number 7 seed. I think the Suns win that. But if you want to debate with me on that, that's fine. The point is these games are very big, particularly tomorrow's game against the Clippers. They are out of position against the Clippers in the tiebreak. You want to know why? Because they haven't beaten the Clippers in years. They haven't beaten the Clippers, I think 10 in a row the Clippers have won against them. So they have got to show that they can beat the Clippers more than anything. But Stephen A., if the Lakers are able to avoid, and by the way, they're not even guaranteed of being in the playoffs yet. They're in good shape for that, of the play-in. But they're not even guaranteed to be in the play-in yet. So they got to handle their business just to get that. They got to avoid the play-in, in my opinion, and they really, really got to avoid the 9th seed because then you got to win 2 games, and you don't want to have to do that if you're the Lakers. If they can do this, this is not your older brother's Western Conference. This is not when the Warriors had 73 wins and in their prime, Durant and Westbrook were on the Thunder right behind them, and there are a bunch of other teams with 50 wins, and you had to get 48 wins to get in the playoffs. This is a parity, weakness-laden Western Conference. Every single team has something that you can exploit, which is what LeBron James smells. And if you look at the Lakers, if you want to look at them as a team that's 40-38, you can. And that's their record. And you want to say that's what Bill Parcells said, your record is what it is, that's fine. But this is not a 40-38 team. They are 14-7 since that trade that they made with the Jazz, which all of Danny Ainge and LeBron James' animus over the decades, and let me tell you something, there's a lot of them, back from the Boston-Cleveland days, the Boston-Miami days, all that stuff. LeBron owes Danny Ainge a beautiful dinner for the willingness to do that trade with them to take on Russell Westbrook, because that has changed everything for the Lakers. And so they're 14-7 since the trade. That's the team that I'm looking at. Number 1 overall in the league in that span, on the defensive end. And the majority of it came without LeBron. So yeah, they've had some offensive challenges, but LeBron hadn't been there for most of it. So the Lakers can actually look themselves in the mirror and say, if they can squeeze in to that top 6 and give themselves a chance, they could pull off something in this postseason. It's not because they're the Lakers. It's because they're this team in this year. It's the combination of those 2 things. The other thing is, I think ultimately, if you have control come Sunday, there's going to be some manipulation going on of teams in the 5, 6, 7 to try to get to 6. 6 is the goal in the Western Conference. And I don't mean to say anything bad about the Kings, but the teams want the 6 because they would have the Kings in the first round and they would be on the other side of the bracket as the Nuggets and the Suns. The 6th seed is where you want, and I think we could see some shenanigans over the weekend of teams trying to manipulate getting into 6. But you can't manipulate it, Stephen A., if you aren't already in. And for the Lakers to do that, they got to beat the Jazz tonight, and they've got to beat the Clippers tomorrow. They do that, they give themselves some breathing room and some options. And frankly, if they're going to do anything, I want to see them deliver. I want to see AD play in this back-to-back. I want to see them deliver when they've got to deliver in this situation. And so it's a terrific opportunity. It's a tough opportunity. The Jazz are not technically out of it. They play with pride. They got 2 games left with them. There's going to be some motivation there both ways. But absolutely, the Lakers still hold the destiny in their hands, but they got to get it done in this next 48 hours.
Well, from a numbers perspective, you're absolutely right. They've got 4 games left. They close out the season against Utah. They play Utah tomorrow night as well. Tonight. And then they go up against the Clippers tomorrow night. Here's the thing that we also have to pay attention to. I get where you're coming from with that. I'm coming from an emotional perspective. Ty Lue is 10-0 as the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Los Angeles Lakers. In 10 tries, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers have not beaten him yet. Okay? Now, the Clippers had their game Saturday. So their first game is off of, 4 days rest, and they get ready to go up against the Lakers in a home game for them. Whereas the Lakers played Utah tonight, and so now they got a back-to-back. Wendy, is AD going to play? See, this is the problem. This is what's getting on my damn nerves, okay? Because I love me some AD, the player, when he's on the court. Good dude, by the way. But my point is that a couple of weeks ago, you've got one more victory. If AD plays against Houston, you're not losing to Houston. Not losing to Houston. But AD didn't play that day because it was a back-to-back. They lost that game. So instead of being 40-38, you might have been 41-37 right now, which would have had you in the 6th seed. And the Clippers and the Warriors would have been on the outside looking in. And the Lakers would have been in one game. So these are the kind of moments that I'm talking about here. You can't be sitting down at this time of year. Not with the money that you're making, not with a playoff berth on the line, not with championship aspirations supposedly in your window. That's why I loved seeing LeBron James get in his face the other day. You're too important for that. You understand? So he wasn't getting in his face about sitting out. He was getting in his face about how he looked on the court at that particular moment in time. But we know what AD does when AD's on the basketball court. We know how elite he can be. The question is, are you going to play against Utah tonight and then with the Clippers in that important game tomorrow night at the Crypto.com arena? If you beat the Clippers, you can beat it. You can handle any level of adversity because they have owned the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers have been owned by the Los Angeles Clippers. And by the way, after the Clippers game, Friday night, the Lakers have the Phoenix Suns. They've got Phoenix. So they better win tomorrow night. They better win tonight, and they better win tomorrow night. That's what this really comes down to, y'all. Call it what it is. That's what this comes down to.
Yeah, and the Suns may have high incentive, even though they're in good spot for the 4th seed. The Suns may have high incentive, depending on where the standings are, to go all out and beat the Lakers there. Because the Suns are maybe trying to manipulate who they may play in the first round too. But one thing I'll say about Anthony Davis, it's not always up to him, Stephen A. They are protecting that right foot. They were worried about a stress reaction and an navicular bone. So part of it is the training staff, but I think you've got to push all your luck. If what the Lakers, the way they played early in the season has left them no margin for error. And because of that, they can't take chances. They've got to go all for it, and that's the way it's got to be.
Let me be very clear to my brother Brian Windhorst right here on First Take. I am fully aware that it's not always the players, that sometimes it's the organization. It's the medical staff looking out for their own jobs, by the way, their own futures, insisting on players sitting out. I get all of that. When you are a superstar in this league, don't give me that this time of year. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me that the team doctor, the team physician said you got to sit down. I don't give a damn if the owner told you to sit down. This is the playoffs on the line. You, Anthony Davis, you got to play. You got to play. I don't give a damn. Listen, Paul George is legit. We understand what happened to him. He's going to be out. I don't want to hear about no soreness from Kawhi Leonard either, who's been balling, by the way. I don't want to hear none of this, but especially Anthony Davis. You got to play. I don't want to hear no medical staff, no team physician, no assistant coaches, no owners, whatever. The playoffs are on the line. LeBron James ain't 100%. We know what happened to his foot. Ain't he out there? Do you have any doubt in your mind, Wendy, that LeBron James is going to play tonight and he's going to play tomorrow night? There is no doubt. You can't come to him with that. Anthony Davis better play. Anthony Davis, he better play. And I know you watching. You better play tomorrow night. Tonight and tomorrow night. And Friday night. Until you clinch the top 6 seed. Want to hear that nonsense. Want to give a damn about no damn team physician. I don't want to hear it. He better play. I'm flying out there today. I'm going to that game tomorrow. Anthony Davis better be in that damn lineup. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.